Life has a lot of way of dealing with things, Charlie. Plenty things they happen for this one at time. Plenty things they happen. When things they go up, things they come down. Some things you go do today, tomorrow you not gonna know say it go feel affect you. A lot of things they happen. Welcome to Jamaica Unplugged. I go by the name Ted Gano.
And I'm James Johnson.
On today's story, we come talk about some story where a lot of people did a lot of things and they didn't know that it will affect them later. It's a family matter, and listen to what happened.
I met Kelvin at Accra Mall when I had bought some items from ShopRite and they were too heavy, which got me apparently struggling to carry. He helped me with the items to the car and waited till my Uber came. I knew he would make a move on me because I'm a pretty girl and he's very handsome. When he helped me put the things in the car, he asked for my number and I took his phone and dialed it. Our eyes kept locked to each other's. He called me immediately so I could have his number too, but it didn't end there. We spoke till I got home. The driver gave me my bill and that's when I noticed I had misplaced my money. He noticed it and asked if he could send me the fare. I was so shy that I declined the offer. I kept searching for the money and before I knew it, I had a message from Mobile Money. He had sent the transportation to my phone, even though Quick Loan took it. It was so sweet of him. I told him I had to end the call so I could get the things to the house. I took the cash from my mom to pay the driver. We got talking later that night and for quite some time. It was a habit. He was kind, respectful, sweet, handsome, and everything I had ever prayed for. He took me out on a buffet date at Royal Fiesta. He taught me how to eat at a buffet. He asked me to eat very small portions of every food that was on display. That way, I would have utilized our money very well. It was a plan and it really worked. He was very knowledgeable and had ideas on almost every topic. It was a night well spent. When I got home, I noticed my AirPods were missing. On a call with him, I told him I'm sure I left my AirPod at the place and he said he would call them to look for it. He made a conference call and the hotel confirmed there was nothing on the table we used. Fast forward, I took him home to meet my parents. My mother was all over him because he was handsome. There's a brief history about that. Before Kwame, I took a guy home to meet with my parents. He was very rich and smart, but not handsome at all. My mom kept insulting me for bringing such a person home, as if it's beauty I'll be eating after marriage. The guy noticed and distanced himself from me, and that's how that relationship ended. My mom really liked Kwame, my new guy, but my dad was just no move. My Gen Z junior sister was just turning her body around him, and I shook my head. Kwame was just charming and down to earth, so he had a very good relationship with my little sister too. They spoke the Gen Z English, which got me confused most of the times. I mean, it was so beautiful to see your family blending nicely with your husband-to-be. He lived at Flat Top, and I was working with EcoBank La Paz. My sister was attending IPMC, so apparently, we were all within the La Paz Flat Top enclave. Sometimes, my little sister would ask if she can wait for me at his place, so we go home together. And I agreed she should stop asking me since my answers remained the same. One day, while at work, I was feeling very funny. My head was spinning, and I couldn't concentrate, so I asked for permission and decided to go over to Kwame's place. For certain reasons, I didn't inform him. When I got to his door, it was locked, so I called, and I could hear it ringing, but no answer. I went around the building and looked through the window to his hall, and I could see his phone on the sofa, his trouser on the floor, and a scarf placed on a handbag on his dining table. I couldn't see the bag, but I identified the scarf to belong to my mother. I quickly called my mom's phone, but it was off. I called my dad, and he said she had gone to the market. I decided to leave and hide somewhere I could see the house from, to see who would come out from there. After about an hour, it was my mother coming out from there alone to an Uber that was waiting at the gate. I was in total disbelief and confusion. What was she doing there? How come she knows his house and I'm not even aware? Probably. It wasn't anything bad, I thought to myself, but then again, it's a one-bedroom apartment with a hall. I looked through the hall and saw no one. Where were they? This reasoning got me very skeptical, but I put it aside and moved on. I went there after my mom had left and he was very surprised to see me. I acted normal. He cooked for me and got me some drugs from the nearby pharmacy. I slept till it was time to go home. He was playing a video on YouTube with his phone and he left it to quickly turn off the fire under his rice. I took the phone and cloned his WhatsApp onto mine. In the Uber, I decided to go through his chats. Faith. My mother was sleeping with my boyfriend wife. Very disgusting to say, but my mother was sharing her news with him. And he also reciprocated. My mom was telling him how much she misses my father's young energy. And she thanks God he's giving her that. Not long, the WhatsApp web logged out. I'm sure he noticed someone had cloned his WhatsApp because WhatsApp sometimes gives notification. So he quickly unlinked his phone. I asked the driver to stop so I could vomit. It was insane. How? My mother. But why would mama be cheating on our dad? And not even with her age mate, my boyfriend, whom I intend to marry. Our relationship was never the same, but she didn't know why. I had so much doubt about her and even questioned myself if we were our father's children. My dad was old, had diabetes, and apparently didn't have much time with us. My questions were getting too much, so I found a way, in the form of a joke and a daring act, convinced all my siblings for us to have DNA tests. I told them a friend of mine who owns a hospital wanted me to bring 6 people for free DNA tests. We all agreed to keep it a secret, and we made vows never to share with anyone what we were going to do. I got a hospital, name withheld, paid for all 6 of us, and I told my dad a nurse friend of mine would pass by the house to take a sample from his mouth to further the test to know which medications to administer for his sugar level. Fast forward, we all went to the hospital at the appointed day and rendered our samples. When the results came out, Faith, I couldn't share it with my siblings. I took my year's leave from work and traveled to Akosombo. I got a hotel by the lake and cried for 4 days. My siblings kept calling, but I couldn't answer. The only person I was in communication with was Kwame, because I had my plans for him. I didn't know how to break it to my siblings. It was a Saturday, so I had a conference call with them. I told them where I was and asked if they could come because I couldn't break the outcome of the results to them on phone. To my surprise, they agreed to come. They came the next day, Sunday morning. My elder sisters lost their patience and they were getting angry for all the delayed touches I was playing. I broke the news to them that we were all not our father's children except Priscilla, the last baby, Gen Z. I showed the results to them and it was a cry party that day. We all agreed that Daddy was too old and weak for this kind of heartbreak. We came back to Accra and called Mom in a meeting in my elder sister's house. We broke the news to her and she broke down crying, begging us not to tell our father. She was explaining herself, but it didn't make sense. We then asked her if she can show us our father, and she said she would have loved to show us, but he died. Clara, the second born, quickly asked how he died, and she said, my dad asked her one day if she was cheating on him, but she denied. So my dad said, any man that will sleep or has slept with her while she's married to him will die mysteriously, and that not long after my dad placed that curse, our true father died shortly after he stepped on a broken bottle one day on his way to meet her at their usual hideout. I almost popped the question about she sleeping with Kwame, but I bottled it in. Again, I had my plan. We asked her the name of the man and she mentioned, but I noticed the man's surname is the same as my boyfriend's. Later that evening, I asked that Kwame if he knows anyone like that, and he was surprised. He asked me how I got to know that name, and I told him something different. He said that's the name of his late father. It was as though an elephant was sitting on my chest. My heart almost exploded from the ventricle. If this is the case, then what killed his father was warming up to kill him too. But I couldn't tell him. My emotions got worse, but I couldn't share my findings and shock with anyone. It was killing me inside. I had suicidal thoughts several times, but hold on. Here comes the greater shocker. One morning, I was feeling horny because it had been a while, coupled with all the emotional roller coaster I was going through. I needed an erotic touch and a therapy. I called Kwame and went over to his place. We made love and we slept off after that. After a long sleep, I noticed he had left the bed and I could hear some chattering at the bedroom window, so I slid the curtain slightly to see what was going on. It was Kwame and my little sister. Apparently she had come from school because she still had her bag behind her. They were arguing and my little sister was showing him a positive pregnancy test. My boyfriend looked like he was begging and he gave her a sum of money. They hugged and she left. I collapsed onto the bed. I couldn't move my body. There's indeed a thin line between love and hate. I hated Kwame at this point, but I had to pretend because I had my plans for him. I didn't ask my sister anything. I played along as though I didn't know anything. I started talking about marriage to Kwame. My plan was to abandon him in the church on our wedding day. We started making preparation towards the wedding. I pretended as though I was happy and everything was alright. One day, we went to Accra to get some items for the engagement and he had to pick up some wooden baskets from someone at Tudu. He jumped onto an Okada and left. He picked up the items and on his way back, they had an accident. The motor rider survived, but Kwame died on the spot. I hadn't seen anything like that before. I couldn't control myself. I called home and broke the news to them. I called his sister and his family took over the situation. He's in the mortuary as we speak, yet to be buried. My sister confessed that Kwame got her pregnant and my mother was shouting at her, threatening to disown her and that how can she sleep with her sister's fiancé? I was just looking at her as she was behaving wholly. I called her in a private meeting and told her the possible reason Kwame died. And that's when she got to know I knew about she and Kwame. She didn't speak a word. She left and entered the room. I thought she was coming back, so I was still seated and waiting. She wasn't coming out, so I knocked on her door. No answer. I pushed it open and there she was. She hung herself with a rope to the ceiling fan hook. My mom is also still in the fridge, yet to be buried. My family is scattered because the truth was now out. My siblings couldn't keep the secret. My dad's health has now deteriorated further, and I'm just praying he doesn't also leave us. My late boyfriend's sister invited me to his house to pick up my stuff because I had quite a number of things with him. When I was parking, I saw my AirPod. I was shocked. I also saw my mom's jewelry she was blaming my little sister for stealing. Faith, Kwame was apparently also the thief.
Oh my God!
You need to be careful when you be Kwame.
Kwame be hard guy. Kwame be hard guy, but it be the case we worry Kwame. The case we worry Kwame. The case we worry Kwame. But so they mean say one thing kill Kwame than your father. It be one thing. The same woman kill Kwame than your father. Right now, the lady too insists still the pregnant Kwame. So they mean say still the family go grow. The family still go grow. It's still go get this. The family still go grow. Be that Charlie. You know easy. You know easy. You know easy.
I don't get what I want to talk about.
You know easy. The story is some way.
I get goosebumps.
The story is some way. Yeah. The story not be only physical. It be physical, spiritual, emotional, psychological.
How you want boyfriend go to talk?
You
the whole family. They started steal for the family.
You chop 2 sisters, then your mother.
Farm will be a whole package.
Apparently to them be your family members.
Oh, is that the steal?
Them be your family members.
Where we are airport.
You see this thing when they tell people say women, for what kind of women we go for. You understand? The whole problem came from just the woman.
Yes, just the woman, the mother. So sometimes she didn't say that why she not like the first guy. Maybe the first guy not find one.
Mother go to top your boyfriend.
I sure say the first guy way she did talk say she not like him because the guy not fine. Like she the one fine guy to say you go to eat the guy.
That's why they cheat for him.
Yeah. So right now it make it kill you own son.
So right now, boys, I mean, if you marry and they curse your wife,
they put curse on your wife. You do so people will die for your wife. I make sure say you no go chop somebody wife.
Before like
I just about so much shit. Thanks for watching.
Comment on my book, hear what people have to say about this one.
Thank you very much.
Subscribe.
Thank you.